In this session I want to talk about using spreadsheet to calculate some essential but fairly basic statistical measures. I'm going to get it to count up how many data points there are in a set of data, how to work out the average or the mean, work out the middle point, the median, work out the most frequent item in a set of data, which is called the mode, and also look at to see how the data is distributed around the mean, how tight it is to the mean or how loosely fitting it is to the mean, to the average. So that's our objective. Now let's start with a set of data. I just put the cursor onto the screen. This is just a 7, 5, 7, 4, 9, 12, whatever. That set of data. This might be the results of a survey, perhaps. Depends. Just a set of data. And I want to work out some basic statistics about it. The first thing I want to do is to just tidy it up a bit. I'd like it if it was in order for a start. So I'd reorder the thing. And I want to count how many of these I've got. So I reorder it. Reordering it is straightforward. You just take the smallest, and the next smallest, and so on, and just get it this way around. Now, if I can just delete that table for a second, delete part of it, even better still. Just get rid of that. Now, let's say I want to find out how many items are in this list. Well, in this case, it's quite easy. Just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them. Well, that's only because it's a small list. If it was a very, very large set of data, and I was particularly lazy, I might want to get the computer to do it. Or I might want some quick way of doing it. And also, if I'm counting it myself, I may make an error. Computers don't generally make errors. I might miss out on counting it. So one way to do it is perhaps count it as I've suggested, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Or you could go, the first one is 1, second one is 2. Drag that down and take the corner here and pull it down. And the final one is 8. So that's the count. So it's counted by pulling it down. And if the set is very big and you can't really do this properly, then I would use the count function, which comes as a part of the facilities of Excel. I'm using Excel here from the Microsoft Office suite. If you haven't got this, don't worry. There are lots of, well, there are a couple of free suites of programs which are available online for download. They do exactly the same as this, as far as I can see. They're very, very good, and they're free. So don't despair if you haven't got Excel. You can get a free version legally, open and honest and decent, and it's available online. I'll get the addresses and make them available in class notes later. But let's say you want to get this to count. I'll just pick a one underneath here just to show you how to do it. You go to FX here and go to statistical. Well, if you click here, you can see there are lots of options in here. You have financial, date, time, mathematics and trigonometrical functions. I want statistical, and I'm going to count. There it is there. So now I'll click on count, and it asks me now for it to tell it what is the range of numbers I want to count. Well, I want to count from C3. So I'll go C3 colon C10. and we'll click OK. Once we've got that, that's the box, I'll click OK, and there you go. It's counted and it's put the formula in. So you can use Excel to count the data set. Quite straightforward. Next, I want to calculate the median. The median is the middle point. Well, with a small set of numbers like this, it's easily done. I've got 8 numbers here, so I want 4 on either side. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. So the fourth number there is 5, and I want 4 on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on this side it's a 7, on that side it's a 5, so it falls in between those two. So I've taken it to be an average of those, which is 6. And that's how you would work it out for a small set of numbers. The formula is n plus 1 over 2. N is 8. There are 8 numbers in this set, so n is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 over 2 is 4.5. So I need to come down here 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4.5, which is in here, which is 6. Getting the computer to do it, same as before. Just move this out of the way a little. Put it over here, that's it. Okay. Go to statistical, and let's go to median. Median. There you go. And click on that and enter the range that we want. We want C3 colon to C10. Click OK, and we get 6, which is the same as we got here. Surprise, surprise. Just delete it. So that's how you could use this FX facility to work out the median. It is useful when you have not 8 numbers, when you have maybe 200 numbers and you need to work out the median. You will really appreciate these functions. I'm just playing with a very small set of numbers here to illustrate. Trust me, this is worth knowing. The mode. Well, the mode is the most popular number, the most frequent. And in this case it's 7. It appears twice. All the other numbers appear once. So 7 appears twice. Now, again, we can go statistical and scroll down to mode. LM. Where's mode? Mode. Sorry. We'll just take the single one, and we'll go C3 colon C10 and click OK, and we get 7, which is what we had above. And you'll see it's entering a formula here for you. So it's mode equals, and you have when you enter a formula, you always have the equal sign in here. So it's equals. That tells Excel it is a formula, and that's how it was generated. That number was generated by formula. The mean. Well, the mean is just add up all of the numbers and divide by the number of numbers. So we add up 7, 5, 7, 4, or you could add up this lot, doesn't matter. So add them all up. Over here, for example, we've added all of them up. Divide by 8, there are 8 numbers, and you get 6.1. So the mean, or the average, is 6.1. If you add all of this up and divide by 8, you get 6.1. The little formula we use is sigma. Sigma means the sum of, add up all of the x's. Add up x, divide by n, is equal to x bar. X bar means the mean. So that's the way to do that. Needless to say, you can use the formula as well. Click on this, come down, find average. I won't do it for you, I've done it twice already. So equals average, just find average and put those in and you get that. So you can do it by hand or you can get the computer to you. As I said, if you have a large, very large set of numbers, this is really a very good idea. The range, well, the range is just the largest less the smallest. The largest here is 12, the smallest is 2, 12 minus 2 equals 10. And you can do it that way if you wish. I put in the max. I think actually I made this little formula myself. Put in the max minus the min, which is that. The range just tells us where it starts and where it ends and how far apart the two extremes are. Finally, the standard deviation. This is slightly more complex. I've taken this set of numbers here, the reordered set, and put them down here. Now to work out the standard deviation, we know the mean is 6.1. Now if you subtract x minus the mean, you get that. Take it down all the way, you'll get this one. So here I've got one column, that's this one up here. Now I've taken it down here. Now take away the mean from it, so that's the difference between the mean and the number. If I added that up, it would come to 0. So it doesn't tell me very much because it'll always come to 0 if you do that. If you subtract the mean from the number for the whole set and add it up, it'll always come to 0. So it's much more meaningful to square it because it gets rid of the minus sign. Minus 4.1 times minus 4.1 is 16.18 plus 16.18. Minus times minus is a plus. So we've got this. Now I'm just going to scroll the whole thing here to enable you to see the rest of my little calculations. Okay. I think that's about it. There we go. When I've got that there, I've got this formula. When I add it all up, it comes to 76.88. So when I add up that 76.88, divide by the count. The count is 8, so 8 into 76 is 9.61, and if I take the square root of that, I get 3.1. And if I click over here, had I used the formula would have been this. If I clicked fx I should say, I would have got that as the formula, and it would have given me 3.019. Well, 3.1 is pretty close to 3.099899, so it's 3.1. 3.1, 3.1, but the same numbers really. The margin of error doesn't bear thinking about. So using the computer to work out standard deviation, just use fx. But if you want to do it by hand, you simply work out this way. You add up the squares here, so that's the sum of the squares. then you take, and I'll just move that out of the way, I think. Then we divide by the count, which is 9.61, take the square root of it, and that is the definition here of standard deviation. And that will give us this result over here. So quite straightforward to calculate, different ways of doing it. I like using the spreadsheet because it does it for me. But you may prefer to use a calculator, to use some other method, even calculate it by hand. I think the spreadsheet is very clever. Okie doke, so that's a range of statistical measures that we will need. The count, the mean, median and mode, the range, and the standard deviation. And that concludes this video. So thank you for watching.